When most people think about black baseball history, they think about Jackie Robinson. But the truth is, Jackie Robinson's story doesn't begin the history of black baseball. It begins the end of segregation in professional baseball. Long before Robinson ever wore a Brooklyn Dodgers uniform, black Americans had already built an entire baseball world of their own. In the late 1800s, black athletes were already proving they could play the game at the highest level. Players like Bud Fowler and Moses Fleetwood Walker competed professionally, but as Jim Crow laws spread across America, white baseball owners quietly agreed to stop signing black baseball players. There was no official written rule. Instead, baseball developed what became known as the color line, an unwritten agreement that kept black players out of Major League Baseball for nearly 60 years. But black Americans didn't stop playing. Instead, they built something extraordinary. Across the country, black entrepreneurs organized professional teams that traveled from city to city, playing anyone willing to compete. These teams faced incredible challenges. Players were often refused service at hotels and restaurants, forced to sleep on buses, and sometimes threatened simply because of the color of their skin. Yet, every time they stepped onto the field, they reminded America that talent has never been determined by race. The man who transformed black baseball into a national institution was Andrew Rube Foster. Foster wasn't just a great pitcher, he was a visionary businessman. He understood that if white baseball refused to include black players, then black Americans needed to build their own league. On February 13, 1920, Foster gathered black team owners in Kansas City, Missouri, and founded the Negro National League. Its motto was powerful: "We are the ship, all else the sea." That wasn't just a slogan, it was a declaration of independence. Over the next 3 decades, the Negro Leagues became one of the greatest success stories in black America. Legendary teams like the Kansas City Monarchs, Homestead Grays, Pittsburgh Crawfords, and Newark Eagles filled stadiums across the country. Games became community celebrations where families, churches, businesses, and entire neighborhoods gathered to cheer on their hometown heroes. And those heroes were some of the greatest baseball players who ever lived. Josh Gibson was so feared as a hitter that many people said Babe Ruth should have been called the White Josh Gibson. Satchel Paige became one of the most dominant and entertaining pitchers in baseball history. Cool Papa Bell's speed became the stuff of legend. Oscar Charleston, Buck Leonard, Turkey Stearns, Pop Lloyd, and countless others displayed Hall of Fame talent while America refused to let them compete in the white major leagues. The Negro Leagues also became an economic engine for black communities. They created jobs, supported black-owned businesses, partnered with black newspapers, and gave African Americans something segregation tried to deny them: ownership and control over a successful national institution. Then came World War II. Black soldiers were risking their lives overseas while still facing discrimination at home. Black newspapers began asking a simple question: if black Americans can fight for their country, why can't they play Major League Baseball? In 1947, Jackie Robinson finally broke the Major League Baseball's color barrier with the Brooklyn Dodgers. His courage changed American sports forever. But here's the part of the story many people never hear. Was integration really a victory for black players? Because it came at a cost. As major league teams signed the Negro Leagues' biggest stars, black fans naturally followed them. The Negro Leagues began losing their best players, their biggest crowds, and eventually their financial stability. While black athletes were finally welcomed into Major League Baseball, most black-owned teams and black baseball owners were not. A thriving black baseball economy slowly disappeared. That's why the history of the Negro League is both inspiring and bittersweet. They existed because America practiced segregation, but instead of accepting exclusion, black Americans created leagues, teams, businesses, and legends that changed baseball forever. They existed because America practiced segregation, but instead of accepting exclusion, black Americans created leagues, teams, businesses, and legends that changed baseball forever. Today, Major League Baseball officially recognizes the Negro Leagues as Major League Baseball. Players like Josh Gibson, Satchel Paige, Buck Leonard, Cool Papa Bell, and many others were finally receiving the recognition they always deserved. The Negro Leagues were never minor. They were major in talent, major in impact, and major in American history. Their legacy reminds us that when one door was closed, Black Americans didn't simply wait for someone to open it. They built their own. To all the owners, founders, and players of the Negro League Baseball, we proudly stand on your shoulders. For more information, please visit my website at www.ontheshoulders1.com. There, you can support my OTSOG book series. You can also support me on Patreon at patreon.com/OTSOG. You can hit the super like button under this video. You can join this channel as a member. You can also purchase yourself some merchandise if you want to support me even further. And all of the links to support me is in the description. I love you all, and make sure you catch the next video coming up.